And just ahead on News Center 8, a hit-skip accident on I-71 lands a North Royalton man in the hospital after waiting for more than an hour for help to arrive.
We may think we have privacy, but do we really? The shocking reality in a preview of Fact Finder Tom Meyer's series, Nothing Personal.
News Center 8 for Sunday, May 8th, 1994 is coming up next.
From Cleveland's own 24-hour newsroom, Wayne Dawson, Lori Jennings, John Tellich Sports, and Mark Kuntz with weather. You're watching Cleveland's own News Center 8.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Here's what's happening.
Sleep or something, nobody's in here, and I think about it like I could have been just completely run over and died instantly. Or I went around the
North Royalton teen struck down on I-71 while changing a flat tire is hoping tonight that whoever hit him will come forward. And his friends and family also want to know why it took emergency crews more than an hour to arrive as he laid on the side of the road.
News Center 8's Kathy Cronenberger joins us now with the latest on this terrible accident that only got worse after 911 was called.
Amazing, isn't it? But 17-year-old Brian Trail got a flat tire in the wrong place Friday night. It was on the west side on Interstate 71 near the 480 interchange. Is that Cleveland, Fairview Park, Brook Park, or Middleburg Heights? Well, if you don't know, you're not alone. Neither did anyone else. It was a little after 11 Friday night. Brian Trail was getting on southbound 71 from 480 when his front tire blew out, so he pulled off to the side of the bridge to change it. It was a dangerous place to change a tire. The berm so narrow, we didn't feel safe pulling over there to shoot it.
I was trying to get my lug nuts off, and I wasn't sure if they were black caps or black lug nuts. So I called my friend out, Ryan, who was over there in the car still. And as he was coming out, I guess that's when I got hit.
An unidentified car clipped Brian as he changed the tire, throwing him 20 feet, but miraculously only fracturing a vertebrae in his lower back. His friend ran for help, and these two women from a nearby gas station called 911. That was at 11:25. They say EMS didn't arrive until closer to 1, 90 minutes later.
He could have been dying, and they had plenty of time to get there. They should have beat us up there. From the first time we called, they should have been there before us.
The I-71 480 interchange is in Cleveland, but no more than 200 yards south, and it's Brook Park's territory, a border problem that causes constant confusion, according to Brook Park police.
Friday night, when Cleveland got the 911 call for this accident, someone, whoever reported the call, mentioned Snow Road in the call. So when the Cleveland dispatcher heard that Snow Road at the interchange on Interstate 71, they said, that must be in Brook Park or Middleburg Heights. So they called Middleburg Heights and reported the accident. So Middleburg and Brook Park went up to investigate and could not find any accident. The poor fellow was a couple hundred yards back down the road in the city of Cleveland, just on the other side of the borderline.
If he would have been dying, he would have been dead by the time they would have gotten there. And that is probably the scariest thing of all.
Now, just minutes ago, we did hear from Cleveland EMS. They checked the 911 tapes, and they say that the first caller said the accident was at Bagley and 71. That's not in Cleveland, and that's what started this whole chain reaction. This is a common problem, Brook Park police say, whenever there's an accident on the 71 480 interchange, only complicated in Brian's case by a number of errors, including an unrelated accident further down on 71 near Pearl Road, which police mistook as being Brian's accident, and they dismissed the 911 call at first.
It's kind of hard to blame someone in this case.
Well, it is. Cleveland EMS is trying to get to the bottom of it, though, and we will have more on this tomorrow.
Okay.
No doubt. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Kathy. You might think that living in this country you have a legal right to privacy. While that may be true in theory, in reality, there's nothing personal about your private life. Beginning tomorrow night at 6, our fact finder Tom Meyer looks at how easy it is to get information on you and your children. Tonight, Tom gives us a glimpse of what we can expect in his 3-part report.
Would you want a complete stranger to have your child's phone number, address, birth date, and other personal information? We got the information with one phone call. Parents aren't too happy.
That really frightens me because anybody could get any information on my children without me having any knowledge of that. That's scary.
Who gave us the information? The public schools.
Are you familiar with the law?
There's too many privacies that are not private anymore.
I missed the facts,
The fact is, if people want to make your business their business, they probably can. They can even hear what you say on the phone.
and I miss somebody to sit and talk with and drink beer with.
Somebody 3 or 4 blocks away can actually listen to your conversation. And there's no privacy, and there's no guarantee of any privacy on a cordless phone.
With the right computer and contacts, we'll show you how we can put together a file of personal information with only a name and an address.
That's my current savings account.
And that's your savings account number?
Yes. I am shocked.
And we'll show you how you could be under surveillance.
And what my hopes is that maybe I could get a better shot from here.
And not even know it, if a private investigator like this is hired to watch you.
If you want privacy, you close the drawer, you close the shades.
With new technology and hidden cameras getting smaller and smaller,
this is a smoke detector camera.
Snooping is getting a whole lot easier.
It's not a question of being watched by Big Brother. It's a question of being watched by a big investigator.
There's nothing personal. A Fact Finder special report beginning tomorrow. Tom Meyer, News Center 8.
Be sure to watch those reports Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 6. Moving on, remember when we first told you about some homeowners in our area who shelled out thousands of dollars for a new driveway only to have it crumble right before their eyes in a matter of months? Well, tonight, the cement contractors who are being blamed for this disaster met to voice their anger and to plan their defense. They say the Medina Supply Company, which is where they get their cement, is responsible for the quality of the concrete. Attorneys for the contractors say in just the past year, they've received 1,500 complaints from people reporting problems with their cement.
Last year there was a big building boom, and maybe it is that they just didn't have the time to manufacture correctly. Maybe they just wanted to save money.
Now, the contractors plan to take legal action against Medina Supply before any more homeowners bring suits against them in small claims court.
We've come to know them simply as boat people, and until now, they've been turned away from U.S. borders, no questions asked. But today, President Clinton announced a shift in policy toward Haitian refugees, where they will be screened at sea and granted asylum if they are being politically persecuted. Other changes include tougher UN sanctions against Haiti's military government and increased humanitarian aid. Clinton says the ultimate goal is to force the military to give back power to exiled President Jean-Bertrand Aristide. The day before Nelson Mandela is officially named President of South Africa was a day of cheers, song, and prayer. Mandela was celebrated by thousands of South Africans, black and white, at an ecumenical service of thanksgiving. The service represents the end of Mandela's lifelong struggle and the beginning of a whole new challenge in leading this divided nation.
A U.S. senator accused of sexual harassment and misconduct says he wishes a statute of limitations existed for such cases. Oregon Republican Bob Packwood has admitted kissing some of his accusers. Today on a network news show, he said behavior now considered offensive wasn't treated that way decades ago, and he says it's only a problem because of society's changing values. And speaking of sexual harassment, that was the topic today on CBS's Face the Nation. Oklahoma law professor Anita Hill was the guest, and she was asked about any similarities between her case and the sexual harassment lawsuit facing President Clinton. She said all public discussion of sexual harassment helps advance the rights of women.
This case. So we ask you here, first, I wanted to ask you just how do you feel about all of this? And do you see comparisons here? And what is your take on it at this point?
These cases can serve a purpose. Because they are high profile, they get people's attention, and people talk about them. One of the questions that is still frequently asked is, what is sexual harassment? And these cases provide examples of the kind of behavior that individuals find objectionable, and they give us a chance as a society to talk about the things that happen in the workplace.
Hill drew national attention when she accused then Supreme Court Justice nominee Clarence Thomas of harassing her.
We here at TV8 were proud to help sponsor a special Mother's Day brunch for some very deserving moms today. In honor of all mothers, we joined forces with the Volunteers of America to host the first annual I Remember Mama Mother's Day brunch. Our own Wilma Smith helped host the afternoon along with her mom, Mary Picorni. Thanks to the hundreds of caring and generous people who purchased sponsorship cards, these senior moms were treated to a day filled with good food, good times, and good memories.
Well, she waited 6 years to be a mom, and finally this year she gets to celebrate her very first of many Mother's Day.
It's wonderful. When he told us 4, we were both jumping for, I mean, we couldn't wait to tell people there was 4 heartbeats inside of me.
This is Deidre Recker's first Mother's Day, and it was 4 times sweeter than she ever imagined. We brought you the story of her Broadview Heights quadruplets when they were first born last May, the largest weighing in at just over 5 pounds. Well, in honor of Mother's Day, News Center 8's Kathy Cronenberger checked back in with the Recker family and one very special mom.
Amelia Sue, she was the firstborn. She's definitely the ringleader, but yet very sensitive.
The real world are gone. Juice? Good baby.
And then Olivia Pearl was secondborn, and she's just a very happy-go-lucky girl. Smiles.
The next born was Anessa Jo, and Anessa is laid back, nothing bothers her. And then the last born was Thane Norman Julius, and he is definitely all boy, bruiser.
After 6 years of trying unsuccessfully to have a child, Deidre and Scott Recker tried in vitro fertilization, and it worked. 4 babies that fit in the palms of their hands, born just after Mother's Day last year.
When they do that, they implant 4 fertilized eggs, and at the time they did it, Deidre asked them, well, why don't you do 8 or 9? That way my chances are better.
4 precious faces that are also 4 times the work. So Deidre works out of her home and gets help from friends.
I dust, sweep, have 2 loads of laundry, dishes cleared up, the kids bathed, fed, and clothed all by 10 a.m. And then it's work time for me.
God gave us the 4 for a reason. I mean, he wouldn't have gave it to us if we couldn't take care of them.
Mother's Day at the Recker household. Joy and love, hope and happiness.
We thought for 6 years that we were never going to have children. So if there's people out there, just hang in there. I mean, could be your day. You know, you might have quads.
I'm so thankful I have 4, but it is a miracle just to even give birth to 1. You're lucky. I mean, it's a fortunate thing. It's a miracle. It is to be a parent, period.
Kathy Cronenberger, News Center 8.
Hey, Thane. Thane.
When it comes to trucks, your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers are #1 with Ford Ranger, the #1 selling compact pickup in the world.
The Truck Authority.
Push-button 4-wheel drive, anti-lock brakes, and now free 24-hour roadside assistance. Ford Ranger. Another reason your Northeast Ohio Ford dealers have earned the right to be the Truck Authority.
Ford dealers, the Truck Authority.
Ameritech calls on small business. Colleen, big wedding coming up. The bride called and wants a traditional cake, but the groom's thinking something else. It sure would save time if you talk to both of them at once. Well, you can with 3-way calling from Ameritech Small Business Services. It gets all 3 of you on the line at the same time, just $3.20 a month. And right now, the installation is free. Call 1-800-PROFITS. With 3-way calling, getting everyone to agree is a piece of cake.
Some people say it costs too much to build an environmentally better building. The people of Lawrence, Kansas proved them wrong. This is our Walmart store here. Recycled asphalt parking lots, solar-powered signs, skylights for natural light to save electricity, and many other improvements you can't even see. We're proud of this store because we were a test, and much of what we learned will go into future stores. The test was a wonderful success, and the real winner is the world around us.
Just into News Center 8, a 23-year-old woman walking in a shopping center parking lot was struck by a car and is in surgery at this hour. It happened here at the Cedar Center Shopping Plaza around 9 tonight. Both the victim and the driver of the car were rushed to the hospital. Witnesses say the car appeared to be out of control when it hit the pedestrian and traveled backwards through the lot, colliding with a parked car. 2 storefronts were damaged in the accident. Police are investigating. It took firefighters, 75 of them, 4 hours to control the blaze. That about says it all. This 3-alarm fire overnight in Houston swept through this storage warehouse full of plastics and cardboard. The entire structure went up in flames in what fire investigators suspect was arson. Luckily, there were no injuries reported.
From a raging fire lorry to a terrible flood tonight, this was a soggy and very deadly Mother's Day in West Virginia, where heavy rain forced several rivers over their banks, killing 3 people and flooding roads and homes. About 150 homes and businesses in Philippi, in the northern part of that state, were evacuated late yesterday. Over 51 inches of rain has fallen on parts of West Virginia since Friday. A Cuban airliner carrying about 30 passengers was diverted to Miami International Airport earlier today, and tonight authorities are trying to determine if the plane was hijacked. The flight left Cuba at about 4 o'clock this afternoon, and by 4:30 controllers in Miami received word there was a problem, possibly a hijacking. The pilot apparently wanted to defect from Cuba. The plane landed safely in Miami at about 5 o'clock, and there were reportedly some Americans on board. Tonight, passengers are being questioned about exactly what happened. And shoppers who strolled through Tower City today had one big question. What was this? The drums of Africa rang throughout the downtown mall, drumming up interest in a special exhibit now on display at the Cleveland Museum of Art. Benin Royal Art of Africa opened to enthusiastic crowds this week, and today's performance was just another way to drum up more attention. This is called the Oba Procession, a king and his entourage visiting America, doing a little window shopping in a very unique way, I may add.
Very unique. And you've got to drum up business to a mall these days when you've got weather like we had today.
It was chilly, but then the sun came out, and hey, it was a great day. You know, all the moms had 63 degrees to enjoy the sunshine in this afternoon. I'll tell you, it's going to be a little warmer tomorrow, and really this is not going to be a half-bad weather week. But I mean, let's face it, this is the second week of May, so things really should be working out in our favor as the Emerald month of May continues. I'll share the forecast with you and tell you where we're going as we head into our Monday. All of that's coming up next.
Some very special mothers are especially happy these days.
Isn't it wonderful? Our children are finally together. I couldn't be happier. Your little girl is so pretty and so smart. And your little boy is a sweetheart, the way he cares for animals.
Yes, Cleveland's own Wilma Smith and Cleveland's own Dick Goddard are together at last on News Center 8. What more could a mother ask?
If I were a rich man.
Best author, best composer, best director,
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match.
best choreographer, best musical.
Sunrise, sunset.
Fiddler on the Roof comes to the State Theater stage May 13th through the 22nd, starring Broadway's Spiro Mollis. For tickets to Cleveland Opera's Fiddler on the Roof, call 241-6000 today. Fiddler on the Roof, live at the State Theater. Don't miss it.
News Center 8's weather is brought to you by your local Carrier heating and cooling dealers.
NexRad Doppler radar, the most powerful radar in Cleveland, and you'll see it right here on News Center 8.
Well, once we did get rid of the cloud cover, this turned out to be a fabulous Mother's Day all across the state of Ohio. Lots of sunshine, and what a day it was to take a ride on the Good Time 3 in downtown Cleveland. And a lot of folks did. I understand there was a Mother's Day cruise on that today. 50 degrees right now at the airport at 11 o'clock. Winds are out of the southwest at 7. The humidity has risen where we were at 6 o'clock. It's now at 68%. Barometer has fallen off now a little bit from 29.91. There was a trace of precipitation that was shortly after midnight. Akron Canton picked up 3/100ths of an inch. Pilots, your skies in Hopkins are clear at this point. Your visibility is at 15 miles. The pollen number on the tree pollen today stood at 15 at late afternoon. Here now is a look at our first warning regional radar. And again, what you're seeing here is not precipitation. That is nothing more than AP, a little anomalous propagation. We're dry in Ohio. The same thing holds true in Indiana. A few scattered showers are by the SPI. That is Lincoln, Illinois. But that is about all we have got to report. Doppler radar from the National Weather Service at Hopkins is within the clear air mode at this point. Here are the numbers now as we take a look at Lake Erie. 49, the water temperature off Cleveland Harbor. Our winds overnight out of the southwest at 10 to 20 knots. Westerly tomorrow, 15 and 25. I would imagine by tomorrow afternoon, a small craft flag probably will be needed on the lake. We'll let you know about that. Of course, you'll check with Andre tomorrow morning, and of course, Dick tomorrow night. Waves 2 to 4, and then building 3 to 5. Here are the numbers at 11 now. 50 in Cleveland, 1 better at Akron Canton. It's 45 at Youngstown. Pittsburgh at this point is checking in at 49 degrees. 53 at Zanesville. 54 Port Columbus International. 50 Cincinnati. It's 54 down at South Point, Ohio at Chesapeake Huntington. Sun's up tomorrow morning. Cleveland 6:15. Down tomorrow night 8:31. 63 the best we could do. Our low 45. 88 the record high. And 1889 we were as cold as 30, and that was in the year 1976 here in Cleveland. So actually, it's turning out to be a very nice night. These temperatures are very, very comfortable at this point. Here's the satellite picture. You see the clouds moving away from Ohio. As the day moved along, we got into sunshine. We are clear tonight from the Lake Erie shoreline all the way to the Ohio River. We're watching advancing cloud cover to the west and also the southwest. That is going to make its weather presence felt here over the next couple of days on and off. A few scattered showers are up here. A thunderstorm around Denver at this point. Heavy thunderstorms just to the east of El Paso, Texas. Not too far away from Houston at this point. A scattered thunderstorm around Jacksonville, Florida. Around Amelia Island, actually. You want to pinpoint that at this point, and a few scattered showers off the coast of New England. 80 was the high today, El Paso, 91 Brownsville. Cool today, Kansas City, their high was only 65. In Atlanta, it was 73. If you were watching the golf tournament on CBS, you saw very beautiful weather conditions in Marietta, Georgia. Of course, Marietta, a suburb of Atlanta. Blazing away Fort Lauderdale today at 91, 67 at Bismarck, North Dakota, 67 at Marquette, Michigan. It was 62, Midtown Manhattan in New York, 64. In Washington, 70 at LAX. Overnight lows here are generally going to drop down into the 40s, the 30s up in Canada, the cool, pleasant air all the way down to the southwest, and the low 70s for South Florida. Forecast highs tomorrow again are going to be in the 60s around much of the Great Lakes. A part of Ohio will see the 70s before our Monday is over. Here's the forecast now. It looks like this for tonight. Partly cloudy, the low 44. We'll have southwest winds at 5 to 10 out of the southwest tomorrow at 10 and 20. It's going to be a partly sunny Monday. We could have the 40% chance of a shower developing. Not all of us will see that. The high tomorrow 67. Tomorrow night's low, with a decrease in the cloud cover, will be 41. Outstanding weather for Tuesday. Partly sunny but cool. Our high around 60. A variable sky for Wednesday. A shower in 65. Thursday a chance of showers warming up to 67. And Friday we will be sunny. Our high in Cleveland is going to be perfect, right around 70. And the TV8 weather line is cooking away as always tonight. 8810880, and I promise you it'll be cooking away tomorrow morning when a lot of you are calling. Of course, you're watching News Center 8 this morning at 6. And if you want to update things, you check with the weather line.
Great.
Okay.
Well, you pulled it off. A great Mother's Day. And I remember Friday night, Casey had a real nice song, a little ode to Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Do you have any tunes to sing for us, Danny?
No, although the Indians are singing a sad song.
Are.
Lenny Wilkins, Charles Barkley, and Pat Riley are singing a happy tune. But no, I'm not going to sing anything, although I wrote many hit songs for the mamas and the papas, but I'm not singing on this Mother's Day. We've got that Indian sad song, though, coming up in a minute, right after this.
Hello, everybody. I'm Wilma Smith.
And I'm Lou Maglio.
Have you ever wondered how Bernie Kosar's been doing? Well, we did as well. So next week, we're going to visit Bernie at his new home in Florida.
Black belt martial arts expert and actor Chuck Norris will stop by.
And we'll be talking with actress Mia Farrow and movie director Spike Lee.
Jack Hanna from the Columbus Zoo will pay us a visit with some of his animal friends.
Plus, the magical David Copperfield will be our guest. Get your first look at the news and weather on News Center 8's First Look, weekdays at 5 o'clock here on TV8.
Looking for your best car value? Then look closer at Ford Tempo. Now get a Tempo 4-door with air, AM/FM cassette, power locks, power mirrors, and over $1,200 in savings. Or get a Tempo 2-door featuring all this and a price under 10 grand. Ford Tempo. No wonder it's one of America's best car values.
Winning Ohio over. Have you driven a Ford lately?
Ben McDonald ran his record to 7-0 when the Baltimore Orioles beat the Indians 8-6 today. Ben retired the first 12 men he faced, but after that he was hanging on by his fingernails. The Indians trailed 8-0 after 3 innings, and this play by Jim Thome didn't help when Baltimore scored 4 times in the second inning. Thome did not get an error, but he should have, and that set the stage for Mike Devereaux's bases-loaded triple that just eluded the diving Wayne Kirby in right field. Now, the previous inning, Devereaux hit a solo homer off Tribe starter Mark Clark, who suffered his first loss. The upcoming video now is not easy to take. Chad O.J. hit Devereaux in the face with this pitch in the 6th. Blood gushed from his mouth. He was able to walk off the field with help. It hit him in the jaw, a fastball that got away from O.J. Just rode high and inside, and Devereaux seemed to freeze, as the slow-motion replay suggests. Now, this is one of the scariest moments in sports. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball is like getting hit in the jaw with a lead pipe. Ooh, that's a terrible shot. The Indians finally reached McDonald in the 5th inning when Albert Bell singled, and then Paul Sereno single scored Albert, and it was 8-1. In the 6th inning, back-to-back homers by Carlos Baerga and Bell cut the deficit to 8-3. There's Baerga's shot to left over the 364-foot sign, number 4 for Carlos. Bell also went to the opposite field, just as far to right center, number 7 for Albert, and it's 8-3 after 6. In the 7th, the Indians scored 3 more. Baerga singled home Tony Pena. It was 8-4 then, and that was all for McDonald. Eddie Murray followed with a sacrifice fly that plated Kenny Lofton. It was 8-5. Pinch hitter Candy Maldonado blooped a single to right. Baerga scored, and it was 8-6. But that was it for the Indians. We did see pitcher Paul Shuey and his famous high leg kick. The rookie pitched a scoreless inning in his major league debut. But Lee Smith closed out the game for Baltimore. He slipped a called third strike past pinch hitter Mark Lewis with the tying runs on base, and Baltimore wins at 8-6. The Indians tried all winter to sign Lee Smith as a free agent. What a difference he would have made. The Indians remain tied with Milwaukee for 3rd in the Central Division, 1 game behind Chicago. Paul Molitor's 2-run homer against his old team propelled the Toronto Blue Jays to a 3-1 win over Milwaukee in Skydome. Kansas City moved into 2nd place, half a game behind Chicago. Wally Joyner hit this home run as Kansas City outlasted the White Sox 9-7 in Comiskey. And the Royals are now in 2nd place, just half a game behind Chicago. I know you get sick of the Yankees, and so do I, but you got to see the Bronx Bombers' new murderers row. There's Danny Tartabull going deep in the 6th inning, and it starts a chain reaction against Boston. Mike Stanley was next, and he goes deep. That's 2 in a row. And Gerald Williams made it 3 home runs in a row for the Yankees, 8 homers in the game, 4 by each team. Yankees win at 8-4, and for some reason, Mike Greenwell of Boston is smashing bats in the Red Sox dugout. The Atlanta Hawks finally pulled themselves together. Stacey Augmon the slam from Mookie Blaylock, who had 18 assists. Kevin Willis with the breakaway slam as the Hawks eliminate Miami 102-91 in the deciding 5th game. Now, when Augmon misses the finger roll, Craig Elo is there to slam in the rebound. To Houston now, Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns are too much. His power move results in a 3-point play. This guy is taking a break from hammering the president. No break for Danny Ainge. He drains the 3, and underdog Phoenix stuns Houston at home 91-87. In Madison Square Garden, Bulls lead by 2, just a minute left. But Ewing's great inside move ties it at 86 all. With the shot clock running out, Scottie Pippen misses, and Anthony Mason at the other end gets the breakaway slam. The Knicks win Game 1 of their series over Chicago 90-86. Now here are all your winners. Laura Davies of England won the women's tour event in Tennessee, and John Daly ended a long drought down in Atlanta today. But he almost blew it on 16. He had no idea where this putt was going, and then he compounded the problem. He left himself a 4-footer, and he missed it. Listen to the gallery gasp. He bogeys the hole, and he falls one shot off the pace. But he has renewed determination when he tees off on 18, back in a tie for the lead. And when he has another short putt for birdie and his first tour title since 1992, he does not blow it. Daly wins the Bell South by 1 stroke.
You know, I've won some tournaments that I probably shouldn't have, and I can honestly say this is the first tournament I won on the PGA Tour in a sober manner. So it's just a great feeling, and knowing that I can do it sober is even better.
And that's sports. But Wayne and Laurie will be right back with more News Center 8.
Remember last summer?
Still stuck to the furniture, dear?
Yep. Get an energy-efficient Carrier air conditioner. Cut your cooling bills up to 40%.
Summer will be here before you can say heat wave alert. Smart planning now with Carrier pre-season air conditioning will keep you cool all summer long. With great financing, including 6 months same as cash, you can afford the quality of Carrier central air conditioning. Heat wave alert? Not if you install Carrier central air conditioning now during this pre-season offer. Call your Carrier dealer before May 31st.
The genius of a great drama is revealed when it looks into your very soul. Death of a Salesman, written by Arthur Miller, is that kind of achievement in American drama. I'm Hal Holbrook, and I'm proud to be here in Cleveland with Steven Weber and Elizabeth France in a new production of this modern masterpiece directed by Gerald Friedman for the Great Lakes Theater Festival.
May 5th through the 21st at the Ohio Theater. For tickets, call 241-6000.
Tomorrow is May 9th, and it's also the birthday of Anita Eisler, the principal at Kentucky Elementary School in Cleveland. TV8 and American Greetings wish Anita a very happy birthday. She will be receiving a beautiful rose and an American Greetings card to help celebrate her big day.
And that's all the time we have for this report of News Center 8. Thank you very much for joining us. And don't forget to join News Center 8 this morning, tomorrow morning, bright and early at 6 a.m.
And we'll all be back tomorrow at 6 and 11 for the latest from our 24-hour newsroom. Until then, good night. Have a great week.
Bye-bye, everyone.